Here's my baby.
I'm Dana Denha.
And I'm Melissa Bondi, and this is Adventures in Parenthood, where we take a ride on the roller coaster that we call parenting.
Kids have been home a lot more often than most of us parents are accustomed to. We may have some toys and activities in our arsenal to keep our youngsters busy, but when the days became weeks and months, most of us were in need of some fresh ideas. So, Melissa, what have you been doing with Bryn since this pandemic started? Because it is hard, they don't have school daycare or anything like that anymore. So it's like, especially with people like you and I who only have one child,
Right.
a lot of the stuff is on our shoulders, on the parents' shoulders.
Yeah, it became challenging more so now that we're a little bit into this, to keep entertained without having to keep buying things over and over. But I can tell you one of my big saving graces we did early on was Legos. I'm not the biggest Lego fan, but her and my husband are, so it was a huge thing. We do a lot of building here, so even with that, and then the Magnetiles. I don't know if you're familiar with the Magnetiles.
Oh, yeah. They had them at my daughter's preschool, yeah.
Oh my gosh, these were a lifesaver as well, because it just gets the imagination going, creativity. Along with the Barbies and I think you know about Play-Doh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So this is a big one too, and then you buy it. So yeah, it's been challenging in that respect, especially as the seasons have changed. Going from inside now we're outside. We're migrating outside, fun, and so yeah, it definitely with one child you've got different challenges as opposed to multiple. But yeah, I don't know. How have you been handling it?
It's been going all right. It can be challenging. I feel like, because we're working from home now too. So it's like that aspect of like trying to balance that work home life aspect of it.
Sure.
I'm like, I have to work. And then she's like, can you play? Can you play? Can you play? Like every 3 minutes. And I'm like, you need to give me time to work if you want me to be able to continue to work from home. You know what I mean? Like there has to be like some give. You have to be able to play by yourself.
Yeah.
I make sure I play, we go on the swings. We have a nice swing set outside and stuff. And I make sure I'm always, ready to do different things, crafts and water fun. But yeah, it's hard. It's not easy, balancing it all at once. And it's a juggle for both parents, because everyone's working from home now. So it's like, who takes the kid when and that sort of thing.
Right. And I've heard a lot of couples, take shifts and do that. And we fortunately are able to do that, and the shifting portion of it, to minimize screen time, which is a huge concern, I think, of a lot of parents in these last few months, was, that it's not you don't want that to be the go-to, but, some days it has to be, especially for parents like us. But yeah, finding stuff and finding the balance in between has been challenging, but I still feel deep down it's successful. I don't feel like I failed, I don't feel
Oh, yeah, definitely not.
Yeah.
And there's actually someone right here in Ann Arbor that can kind of give you ideas of like things that you can do with your kids at home, articles to look at, different stuff that maybe we're not thinking of because our minds aren't there. So joining us is Nicole Barragato, publisher of Macaroni Kid Ann Arbor. Welcome to the show, Nicole.
Welcome.
Oh, thanks so much for having me.
Nicole, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and what led you to doing Macaroni Kid Ann Arbor?
Awesome. Yeah, I'd love to. So I'm a special education teacher by trade. So I did that for 4 years, and I had my first daughter and I went back to work for a year, and it was that struggle of like, oh, how are we going to balance this? I really want to stay home, but I don't know if I want to do that full time. So then when I had my second daughter, I was like, okay, yes, this is definitely what I want to do. I want to give this a try. And at the time, my husband got a job at Purdue. We're both Michiganders. We had never been in Indiana. We didn't know a single person. So I went from being a full-time working mom to having my second daughter and being a full-time stay-at-home mom, moving to a totally different state, not knowing a single person, having no family. And I'm like, oh, okay, now what are we going to do? How am I going to fill these
Intense. That's an
days?
intense thing to go
I was
through.
like, I don't know. But we got something to do. So down in West Lafayette, Indiana, I found Macaroni Kid. And it was this awesome resource. It's how I found my mom tribe down there. It's how we found great things to do, from playgrounds to check out to different activities that were happening for the kids to go to that were age appropriate, articles on things to do at home. And I was like, oh my goodness, I love this. This is great. Like, this is what we're doing every day. So that is what we did every day while we were down there. Well, fast forward to 2 years later, my hubby's in higher ed, so we move around a lot. So now he's at the University of Michigan. So I moved to Ann Arbor. Again, we lived in Michigan, but never in this area. So I was like, all right, I got to find my mom tribe. I got to find my things to do. I'm going to go to Macaroni Kid. And I was like,
there wasn't
Macaroni Kid in Ann Arbor. How am I going to find my things to do? So I was like, well, I think I could do that. I think maybe I could make that work. So that's how I started. I was like, this was a valuable resource for me. I think it could be a valuable resource for other moms. I kind of saw how it works. So I'm going to give it a try and see how it goes. Wow. And then COVID hit, but we're getting there.
Yeah, but it's still, you still have resources of things that you can do with your kids at home.
Yes. We try really hard. So that's the nice thing about Macaroni Kid is I'm not independent, that there's Macaroni Kids all over the U.S. and even in Canada. So if you're ever going on a trip somewhere and you just want to find things to do there, you can research another Macaroni Kid. And then we also share all our great ideas. So it's really a great network of moms who have different stages and ages of kids and pooling all their great ideas and then sharing them with all of you.
Okay. So this was started in the Ann Arbor in 2011. Did I read that correctly?
Yes. So I think I'm maybe the third or fourth publisher now.
Okay.
I think that's how it worked. I'm not sure about the other ones, but I just started in January, February of this year.
So, so you started right, it was like you were gung-ho, and then the pandemic
I got my
started.
calendar set. I'm like, look at all these great local events. Go check these out. And then I was like, oh, maybe not. Let's switch this and make it virtual.
Did you find it difficult to because you were new to Ann Arbor, to get acclimated with what was going on in the city, to share with other people the events and things that are going on?
I do, and I feel like it's such, I kind of feel like all of you guys, even if you've lived here all your life, because it's just such uncharted territory. We've never been here as parents. This has never happened before. Even our parents can't give us advice on this, So, and just everybody, this is one of those things where everybody has strong opinions. So you just don't know, even though I'm putting events out there, I'm not saying take your kids to this event, do this event. I'm just I'm going to give information to everybody and you choose what is best for your family. If you feel comfortable going to events, great, here's an event, go check it out. Or if you're no, we still really want to stay home, well, great, here's something that you can try at home. So I'm just really trying to find that balance of no matter where you're at, here's some great ideas of things to do.
Do you find, on the flip side of that, do you find folks wanting to advertise with you? Is that promoting their events on your site?
Yes, that is. And since I'm so new and I just started in January and I feel like everybody is oh, what's going on? I want people to know that yes, I am a great resource for you. Please go check out my website, annarbor.macaronikid.com, and right under the events tab, you can click right there and you can submit an event. Anybody can do that. Anybody can submit an event, and it doesn't even have to be a free event. If you're hosting a camp or anything, just go ahead and submit an event. And usually, even if it's, at this point, even if it's not free, if it's a camp or something, I still put it on the calendar because, parents are looking for things to do.
Sure.
So go ahead and put it on there. I would love to have all your events on there and use me as an avenue to just really get the word out.
Okay. Do you find this is a good, do you find a balance? This is your full-time job. This is your job along with being a full-time mom. So do you find this is a good work from home type job? Because it seems like it would be
I feel like I kind of got into this, I'm an introvert, so, this being home, I was kind of oh, this is okay. I kind of like this, I could just do this. But my kids are Mom, it's summer. Come on, we got to go do something. So it's kind of motivated me to, because right now we're featuring our playground of the week. So I had never been to these playgrounds, so it's getting me out there okay, well, yeah, let's go check out a different playground and let's go see what's out here. And let's try to slowly inch our way back in and find our community here, and meet our moms and meet different people in the community. So yeah, I think it is a fun balance, like I'm so thankful that I'm not a teacher right now. God bless the teachers, but I just feel like, oh my God, I feel so bad for them just riding this roller coaster of what's going on. And I feel like this is a nice happy medium of like, let's get our kids back to something that they know. Let's get them back to family time and fun and provide comfort that way. So I feel like it's really been a blessing, this job. It doesn't feel like work. It feels like fun.
Sure. That's what what I am sensing, that it just seems like a great balance for someone in your situation, or for others who might want to do something similar. Do you work solely, is it you? Do you have other people helping, or do you maintain all this?
It's
Other
just
than you had mentioned contributors, like people can contribute anything that they
well, they
might
can
want to
submit
add.
they can submit events, and then like I have a pool of articles, but I only try to put like maybe like 1 or 2 of those in my weekly e-newsletter comes out, because I find that people more so like they want to know what's going on in Ann Arbor. Like that's really what people want to know, like what is our Parks and Recs doing, what are events that we can go here. So I do the bulk of that writing, because it's just me doing that, and then loading the calendar with all the events. So, but yeah, if we can get the word out there and more people want to start adding their events, that would be like good help for me, because if you're sponsoring the event, you really know more about it. So like me just finding something online and adding an event, if I'm not like hosting it, I'm like, I feel like you could give me so much more and like promote it so much better, because you're the one doing it,
Mm-hmm. Do you do feature articles too on the website?
Yep. So what I do is I do feature articles. So that could be anything that I'm just doing with my kids, from crafts and from like, we just did a no-turn ice cream recipe that was fabulous. I think I ate the whole thing myself though, so I don't know if I'll do that one again. But then also, if you want to advertise with us, we have different advertising packages. You can get a sidebar, you can get a full bar, or if you really want specific email blasts with your articles in it, your camps that you're doing, anything like that, we have lots of different options for you to choose from.
We're going to take a short break from our chat to hear some words of wisdom from our local sensei as we kick it with Keith Heffner.
Hey everybody, I'm Keith Heffner. I'm the owner of Keith Heffner's Karate on Main Street in downtown Ann Arbor. I've worked with 25,000 kids over the last 40 years. And over that time, we've learned a lot about what works and what doesn't work with kids. In fact, I compiled that information into a book that I wrote called How to Build Rock Solid Kids. We're going to be talking about the 10 commandments of parenting. And the first commandment, I think, is really the cornerstone for everything we teach. And if you get this principle, I think you'll really understand everything about what it takes to develop healthy, happy, confident kids. Here it is. You can't not teach. Let me say that again, because you might not get it. You can't not teach. Everything you do with your kids teaches them something. Now, it might not be what you hope to teach. And in fact, in many cases, it sometimes turns out to be opposite of what you've hoped to teach. But everything you do teaches kids something. Remember, they're like sponges. And the younger they are, the more sponge-like they are. They pick up everything. They're watching all the time. They're learning way more from what they observe you doing than from what they hear you saying. So parenting tip number 1 is you can't not teach. Keith Heffner, we'll see you again next time.
We're back with Nicole Barragato of Macaroni Kid Ann Arbor. Welcome back to the show, Nicole.
Hello. Thanks for having me again.
So why don't you talk a little bit about, the big thing with you is I think like it's best to subscribe to your weekly newsletter, because it's really going to keep you in the know of like the things that you're trying to tell people that are happening around here. So can you tell us a little bit about the newsletter, what's in it, and why we should keep, checking it every week?
Absolutely. So the newsletter is going to be like, that's when the articles first come out. So you will be first in to know to anything before they come onto my website. They come in my e-newsletter. So first it makes you an insider. So you have the information first. And then I also highlight because, I get it. We're all virtual now. Like you can just be overwhelmed with everything. So I try to highlight like the 3 key, here you go, really check out these. Like these ones I think probably most people will be interested in. And lately I've kind of been doing like theme newsletters. So like last week I was like, okay, it's super hot. Let's do some water ones. And I just gave you a ton of like Fuller Park pool is opening. If you want to go do that, here's how you safely do that. Or if you just want to stay home, here's like 9 ideas of things that you can do in your backyard for water games. And then this week we did 4th of July things. So from a no-turn ice cream to how to watch the virtual parade. So I just really try to do a gamut of like, what do I think my readers want to hear based on what I'm seeing on our Facebook page and based on, you can always email me. If you like have an idea, you're like, hey, I want more information about this. Go ahead and email me at NicoleBarragato@macaronikid.com, and I would love to write an article about it.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it is. I mean, it's really helpful to have the community support in the situation that you're in because, like you said, there's always so many things happening around Ann Arbor. It's virtually impossible to keep track of everything that's happening. And when you look like at kids stuff, the kids stuff is just like a laundry list of things to do. If you even just like looking at the library alone, you know.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have like someone sort of sift through it for you too, to figure out maybe some of the stuff that would hit your kid's age group, because that's a thing too. It's like, you know, you could take your older kid to maybe play laser tag or something, but I can't take my 4-year-old to do that. She wouldn't have any idea what she was doing.
Yeah, and a nice feature that's what I love about the Macaroni Kid websites. If you check out where my events tab is, it'll bring up either like you can just see the day or the week or the calendar. And when you go to a specific event, it'll tell you the ages that it's good for. It will tell you exactly the location. You can put it right in your Google Calendar if that's what you use, or right in your iCalendar. So we really try to make it is easy peasy because we really want parents to be the superhero in this story. Like, we just want to assist you so that you get the win. And they're like, yay, my mom made it so I wasn't bored today. It was amazing.
Right. I actually yesterday signed up. I did sign up yesterday for your newsletter. And I also went on your Twitter. I think there are 2, so locally and then like a national one, or you could sign up like if I'm going on vacation somewhere. And I need to look, you know, I'm going to out of state and I need to find ideas for kids. I saw that I have the option to do that on Macaroni Kid. So I thought that was kind of neat too.
Yeah, Macaroni Kids, they have the national one, and then they have all the local ones, and then they also have like a Macaroni Kid Eat ones. So if you're really into like dessert recipes or just cooking with your kids, like that one just focuses all on like the foodie side of it.
Yeah, that was kind of neat. I did sign up for that one as well. So yeah, I got 3 emails yesterday. They're like, you're confirmed, you're confirmed, you're confirmed. I'm like, great. I'm like, I had no idea, you know, about this until, you know, Dana sent this appointment, said this is who we're going to be interviewing. And I'm like, ooh, another resource, a local resource. It's amazing. Very fortunate to have, you know, something like this. For all of us who have kids, like you said, within the whole gamut. So
yeah.
What do you think, would you say would be like your number one inquiry when people contact you, as far as how can I sign up, or what events do you have, or can I advertise? Like what would you say would be one of the biggest questions that you receive?
I think probably the biggest thing, like you said, is just getting it out there that you can subscribe to this weekly e-newsletter. Because I think a lot of parents are like you, like, oh, we've just been so bombarded because everything is virtual now, and it's just trying to like sift through everything. So just knowing that we offer this free weekly e-newsletter, you know, it's easy peasy, as you can probably attest to. All you got to do is go to my website, click subscribe. It's literally like your name and email, and that's it. And then you are like good to go. I won't spam you. It's just like one weekly newsletter of like great recipes, ideas, articles, and local events. So really that's probably the number one thing, is just trying to build the base of like parents who need this information right now.
When you go to your website and let's say we're in the article section, do you archive all your articles so we can like go back and find stuff that maybe we lost that we really wanted to reread or anything along those lines?
Yep. Once my articles go live, they all stay there. So when you go to articles, there's a really nice search box. So even if you just remember like one word, like, okay, what was this about? Just type that in, and more than likely that article is going to come right up for you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Great. So we're going to take another short break, and we'll be back in exactly 60 seconds with more from Nicole. We're visiting with Macaroni Kid Ann Arbor publisher, Nicole Barragato. Welcome back. Nicole, we were just talking about some of the articles and stuff that you offer on the website and your newsletter. Why don't you talk about, I'd be interested to know maybe one of the number one or a few of the activities that you've learned about that you really enjoy doing with your kids at home.
Well, one of the things that we did, I'm going to talk about one of the things that we did during COVID, because I think we're going to keep this and probably continue to work with the MDN in the future. So COVID was actually a really good time when we were over the initial hump and we were starting to be allowed to, be outdoors with masks and social distancing. We did hashtag Hail to the Hunt. And we did a family scavenger hunt on the University of Michigan's campus because it was the best time to take your kids. No one was there. Parking was easy peasy. It was not a nightmare. And then we had all these families submit their great family photos. And then we picked one, and that family actually won all this amazing gear from the MDN because they were our sponsor. Their coffee table was filled of MDN went above and beyond anything that I had imagined for apparel. They had bears and frisbees and hats, and they were just all decked out in U of M. So I think that was one of the more memorable things that we got to do during COVID because that was a lot of fun. But we really just have I don't know. I think it's like that teacher heart, it never really goes away. So just anything that my girls are into, I'm like, sure, let's try to make slime or bouncy balls. And we can write an article about that. It could be a Pinterest fail, but it could work. And we'll just let parents know, So it's just like this is what you see is what you get. And I'm pretty honest in my weekly articles, yep, this worked, or no, sorry guys, this is a complete flop, but I wouldn't recommend this, but go ahead and try, So if that's what you're really looking for is just not the Pinterest perfect, but this is the Pinterest fail board, then yes, then I will tell you exactly how it is, So
well, I actually really appreciate that because I'm the type of person I might be able to pull off some things really nicely, and then there's going to be some other things where I'm not going to be able to do it. I mean, I can't braid my daughter's hair for the life of me. And it's that's a normal thing that every woman knows how to do, and I can't do it.
I don't have that either. And I have two very princess, literally we were at Meyer the other day, and they're like, oh, are your girls going to a party because of how they were? And I'm like, no, this is just casual Tuesday. We're no, this is everyday life. I don't know.
So have you done any, I was thinking when you were saying that about the Pinterest fails, have you done anything like that? Something along the lines of if parents want to submit a fail to be funny, a funny columns,
I haven't, but I think that would be an awesome, we should get that on Instagram, the quarantine confessions that they did recently.
Quarantine.
Yes, we should do Mom Fail Mondays or something.
Totally. I feel you have all these options to make, you said, add a little bit of humor or add. It's funny, we can laugh about it because we know we've all been there, whether you admit it or not, we've been there. But yeah, even if it's something I'm just thinking columns and something to make it, and then I don't know, people could submit, like you said, the photos and videos and just make it more interactive. It would be fun. I think parents would.
I think we should do that for sure. We're gonna have to do Mom. We'll make it happen.
I totally have a picture I could probably submit to. Yeah, fun.
Nicole, did you feel you had to start adding maybe some, more educational activities for kids once the pandemic started because we knew that kids weren't really getting the schooling that they had before?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I did because some national ones put it out there. So I always put those on there, but right now, I just feel and this is my own opinion coming from a teacher place, y'all are parents and you need to be parents first. You're not teachers. And I know this was hard and it's going to be hard if we can't go back in the fall. And we do need to figure something out. But I just really wanted my website to focus on family fun and bringing families together in that time, because I feel more so that's what kids needed right now. The kids just needed to know this is scary and mom and dad haven't been through this and we don't know what's going to happen, and that's okay. But we can still have fun and we can still have some normalcy.
Yeah. I think there's been, we have kids not, school age necessarily yet. So I know it's been a little bit of a relief where we can focus on the fun, and then, you slide in there, the academic aspects of it, with workbooks and I've been following, and actually my daycare has been really great, former daycare, because we're no longer there, but and sending, they send all these lessons weekly lessons. And I don't know who follows it, who doesn't, but it's the fact that they're trying, and we can, at least kind of stay on track with the age that we have of our children. So I think that's been beneficial. But yes, if we can turn to a website like yours and, for the creative and the fun aspects.
Let's just let our kids, relax too, because they feel all of this as much as we do, and they don't know how to express it. So before we go, Nicole, why don't you just tell people why they should subscribe to your newsletter, check out your website, anything else you'd want to tell people?
I just think as a mom who has changed careers, who has moved a lot, who is constantly having to adapt and find ways to keep both of her daughters entertained and not lose her mind, this has been something that I've used. This has worked for me. This has been a helpful tool for me. So I think because I've used it and I've enjoyed it, I think it could be for other parents too. So I would love it if you would check out annarbor.macaronikid.com and look around, and if you're like, yeah, this would be super helpful, then go ahead and subscribe to the free weekly e-newsletter. It'll come out every Tuesday morning, and you'll just get right to your inbox. It'll be easy peasy, here's some great ideas. I think I could handle this week. It doesn't take a lot of supplies. I have this laying around, or here's this great event. I didn't know that was happening. Let's go check it out. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, then I think you should definitely check it out.
Well, thank you, Nicole, for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
If you have an idea for a parenting show topic or guest, talk to us on Twitter and Facebook at #CTN Ann Arbor.
And for more on our programming and services at CTN, visit us at a2gov.org/CTN, and visit youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor to watch a full lineup. And remember to like, comment, and share. We always want your feedback. And thank you for joining us on this adventure in parenthood.